you work in sales, you know how time consuming it is to make things like one pagers or presentations. Well, today I'm going to show you how to make one pagers built in under 5 minutes. No waiting 2 weeks for marketing to make it. I didn't have to open Canva and fumble with templates. I gave AI the context for my deal and it's able to build one pagers autonomously for me. So let me show you exactly how. Welcome back. If you're new, my name is Reef and I work as an account executive. And let me tell you about a problem that every single enterprise rep deals with. You need something like a one pager or a PDF to send to a prospect or customer after a call. Something to give an executive a quick briefing on what you covered, why it matters, and what the next steps are. And it's also something that they can socialize. But the reality of it is that if you have a lot of customers, this could take a long time. And what you produce is going to be generic, especially if you have to do this a lot. If it's generic, it's not going to be tailored to your deal and it's not going to be tailored to your buyer. A lot of this process is really time consuming. It's hard to make custom and it's especially hard to do at scale if you're working with multiple customers. So what does that look like today in reality? You go into a shared drive, find the closest sales asset, open it up, start swapping out content. You change the logo, change the bullet points, you rewrite half of it, and then you spend 30 minutes making something that looks okay, not great, just okay. It's not hyper custom to what you want, and you send that over and you get a meh response. All that time is gone. With AI, you can actually take the context from actual conversations, actual research, feed it into a template, and get a polished one pager back in minutes. And that time you get back to focus on other prospects, other customers, or any of the number of tasks that salespeople have to focus on. So that's what we're going to cover today. Let's get into it. All right. So as usual, I've got Claude open. And for this workflow, you're going to need two very important inputs. The first one is going to be context. For this video, we're going to assume that we're looking to summarize an important call that we just had with an executive. So I'm going to add in a transcript. But depending on what you're looking to build out, this could be anything that just describes what you're looking to build that one pager about. The second piece that we need is going to be the prompt. So let's start off with adding in our call transcript. I'm going to go ahead and simply drag and drop in a call transcript. I generated this with AI just as an example, but it's an example conversation with Cloudflare. So that's going to be the context. It's going to include my conversation with this executive at Cloudflare, and we're going to be feeding AI with the entirety of the call. So that way it understands what call just took place. And again, this can be tailored to your use case. I'm using call transcripts. If you have other pieces of context like email threads, etc., you can plug that into here. The second piece that you need is a high fidelity prompt. So I'm going to go ahead and use the prompt that I usually use. But here you can see that I've got the intro, which is create a one-page executive briefing document for Cloudflare. I've attached a transcript for my recent call. I've left this in here as well, just in case I don't have a transcript. You can just type in what you remember from the call and discussion points. So I'll delete this for this run, but if that's also an option, you can just type in bullet points of the call that you just had. And you can see I can structure the one pager with exactly what sections I want. So I can have a company snapshot, who they are, what they do, key challenges that we just discussed in our previous conversation, the proposed solution that we agreed on, the expected outcomes that we hope to happen, and then recommend next steps. This part is also really important. So keep the tone professional but conversational. Write it so VP or C level that is super busy can scan it in 60 seconds and understand the value of our software. Finally, we want to describe what our output should look like. So we have output this as a clean, formatted docx document. Now, this is a game changer. You can actually do this before in Claude. This is a relatively new feature where you have this docx skill and I can create documents on your behalf. And we're going to see exactly what that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and ship this request off. And you can see here, it's reading the docx skill to understand the best practices. It's taking a look at the transcript that I fed it, getting all the information. And now it's being able to load in that skill so it can actually generate a docx document. It's going to feed in the context that we have along with the prompt. And very soon after this is done cooking, we're going to be able to see the one pages that we have. All right, guys, I think that took about 4 minutes, but now our document is done. Let's take a look at it. Let's see, it's loading up here. And here we can see an executive briefing, Cloudflare, XNADN, infrastructure automation partnership. We've got a company snapshot, the key challenges that we discussed, the proposed solution, expected outcomes, and you can see it's got some nice graphics and designs too. I mean, that's is really cool. Something like this would have taken hours to produce, but now with AI, we can do this in a matter of minutes. And as you can see here, obviously it's clean. It's got some nice colors and graphics and such. But the reality of it is that this is just a starting point. This is V1. So we can ask to iterate upon it further, add in graphics, whatever we think would improve our argument. Obviously, we're sending this to a vice president. So this would be maybe a bit too much. So we could ask it to make it simpler and add in more graphics to make it easier to consume. But as a first pass, this is pretty incredible. Now, you have to understand that the most important part of this is being able to add in the proper context. So in this situation, we've added the transcript of our call, and that's what enables Claude to build something so custom. The other part that I haven't showed here is that this is just random colors. What you can also do as an input or further context is maybe add in a document that your marketing team has created that has the proper brand guidelines. And you can also throw in the logo of your company. You can feed that as input, and that can further customize this document that's produced. So it can have specific colors, specific tabs, and graphs that you use. This thing is just really powerful. And that docx skill within Claude that's now supported, you can get really, really crazy with what you're able to build. So here we saw an example of a one pager that we could send to a VP after a first call. It's not a pitch deck or a proposal. It's a quick briefing that says, hey, I listened, I understood your problems, here's how we can help. And now this document that we've created is powerful because this can be socialized throughout the org, get people talking about your solution. Again, just to reiterate, I'm not saying this is perfect out of the box. I'm just saying that this can save you hours of time. You can always do a quick pass, tweak certain lines, make something specific for how you want to sell into the company, but the heavy lifting is done. You're editing for 2 minutes, not building from scratch for 30, 45 minutes. Quick note, if you want to grab the one pager template that I use for my deals, as well as the prompts that I use to generate these one pagers, they're all in my school community. The link is in the description. You can start using this on your next deal today. Keep in mind what we covered today. This is just one type of sales asset. The same approach works for everything. Business case documents, ROI calculators, battle cards, and you can tailor this to each specific deal. The overall pattern is the same. Give AI a template, feed a deal context, and let it build that first draft for you. What I really love about this next gen of AI tools is it flips the script on how sales and marketing can work together. You're not really waiting for marketing anymore. You can create exactly what you need when you need it. Marketing can set the brand guidelines, but then you can execute it in real time and get the assets that you need. All right, guys, obviously a super simple workflow, but not many people know about this. And that's exactly how I build custom one pages with AI. So no more generic collateral, no more waiting on other departments, and no more spending half an hour on something that should take 5 minutes. Again, the template and prompt are in my school community. The link is in the description. If you want to join a community of sellers powering their workflows with AI, we'd love to see you there. If you like content like this, AI, sales automation, and making your workflow actually work for you, drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And tell me what sales asset you'd like to automate next. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.